priced as we are at right now, my investment portfolio has increased by a factor of 10. It's kind of hard to argue with. That doesn't mean I'm not going to lose my ass later on down the line if I do something profoundly stupid. But I'm not inclined to do that. So Arno, stand your ground. Answer his declarative statements with questions. And then let him go on about his business.
Thank you so much for the input. I really needed advice. So when I just got home and I immediately entered this voice chat because I needed to share this because I have actually nobody to talk about because I stopped convincing people and today was another one, but actually I didn't start the conversation. It was he, and that's exactly why I don't tell people about that anymore because it suffers your emotion and your mood when people try to say that you are completely crazy. And he didn't only say that I'm crazy. He told me that I speak like a religious guy.
Oh, no.
You are really the new religion, and I need some and So actually, it was a little bit insulting also, but and I keep telling him I do this nearly for half a year. Nearly half a year, and every day hours, like a full-time job, 5 hours each day, reading, voice chat all the time, so much knowledge here, and
Well, I guess you can change people's standpoint to something, but he'll just wait and see. I guess you can't change his standpoint to DeFi. You can't change his what he thinks about DeFi by telling him more about it right now. But when DeFi in fact proves the exact opposite of what he said, then he'll realize himself, as Paul said. Maybe he'll not change his mind and say, oh, he'll just oh, okay, well, that happened.
How many years older is he than you?
And maybe you should rape him. I would rape him.
I don't know how many.
I'm 31 and he is 45, 44, 43. Something like that.
Well, no. Aussie, if you interrupt the conversation one more time, I'm going to leave you permanently muted. To which he got offended and left.
You're harsh, man.
The age
15 years. 15 years older than you.
Yeah, the age difference is telling. People, when they get to be in their mid-40s to early 50s, have a tendency to think that they've seen it all, done it all, and don't need to be informed about anything else. That is an unfortunate observation about human beings, particularly male human beings. The individual has more to learn. So let him do his thing. Let him essentially make a fool out of himself. Okay. But in your case, stand your ground. Okay. If he accuses you that you're being religious in your argument, counter by saying, well, are you not essentially doing the same thing? That's a question. Okay. When he says that you're being irresponsible and illogical, then counter by simply saying, are you not doing the same thing? And then let him get mad and storm off. As long as he can't affect your employment.
Yeah. I will keep you updated. I appreciate all this input, and next week is this interview, and I already agreed to that. So let's see how it goes, and and I know you're not gonna go anywhere. So
I'll be around.
Yeah.
Tell him to put me on the interview with him. I'll go toe to toe with the guy. I have no problem with it.
Be really awesome, but
now that we've had it fleshed that out, I want to address an issue from one of the other individuals that sent me a DM.
Hey, Paul, I'm here. I just actually stepped back between. I have a patient getting prepped, and I'm actually here right now, real quick. I was just sending you something else.
Oh, okay.
And I was actually adding in that I got in very, very, very early. And so I put in 75 very early. We went all the way up to the all-time high, and then the Chinese debacle happened, and then it dropped all the way down, to where it is now. And so you hear. You hear all the chants and Telegram, hold, and you would say, kind of as the loyal community member that I am, I held strong and didn't buckle. And then naturally, we're gonna express concern and go into the chats, which is the only place you can really go. And you say, hey guys, I know that the market's bad and this and that. So what do you guys think of reestablishing this market cap that we were at? And all they say to me is, oh, price doesn't matter. We're happy with going down or sideways. The exchange is what we care about. Passive income for life. Passive income for life. And I say, well, wait a minute. All this work in the exchange, do we expect to see a price increase? Yes or no? And then they keep saying, well, probably not, because, you don't have to use the governance token. They're just unwrapping and wrapping. And so, there might be sentiment to buy the FEG token, but they don't have to. So we don't really care about the price. And, and that's it kind of gives me a sour taste. And I say, well, wait a minute, I put 75 in, and I actually have market cap and price aspirations. I'm not all about passive income for life. I want long-term price increase. And they never will address that in the Telegram chat. And it's getting more and more frustrating because they start calling it FUD, and then they ban you. And that's kind of why I chimed in.
Well, I appreciate that. If anybody has been rude to you on voice chat,
not voice chat, just the regular the main chat.
Oh. Well, yeah. Well, I don't have any sway in regular chat other than
just the admins. I don't know who they pick for the admins, but it's those guys who say, "Stop it, or we'll ban you." Like, what? Right. I'm just asking.
Right. I still think it's appropriate for me as a member of so-called bottom-level management to apologize on behalf of the text chat if they've been rude to you. There's no reason to be rude to people. You can get your point across without having to behave like that. But on the topic of market cap and price, I would point out to you that from the very beginning of this project's conception, as conceived by our illustrious dev, FegRox, that in FegRox's own mind, this project has never been about price. Now, that doesn't mean that price didn't play a key factor at the beginning of the project, because, and I have no proof of this. I haven't talked to the guy. I can't read his mind, but I think his ultimate genius goes beyond his programming skills. I think his ultimate genius was to be able to establish a price that was so ridiculously low that it was going to attract a certain type of investor, the kind of investor who is willing to take chances, risk a little bit of a gambler, a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit to formulate the community that would be necessary to establish the infrastructure to allow him and his lead devs.
I'm actually going to hit record on my phone here. I have my two nurses telling me 2 patients are ready. I know it sounds really strange, but
no. I know your profession, and I know what you're doing, so that's fine. If you want to, I'll continue with my expose, and then when you get a chance, go ahead and listen to it. Okay.
I will. I appreciate it, Paul. Thank you.
All right. Hey, no problem.
All right. Bye-bye.
You bet. Pennywise is a doctor, and he sees patients. He doesn't just see patients. He sees surgical patients. So he needs to concentrate on his profession. His opinion about FEG has, in his case, more to do with price and market cap, because those are the topics that interest him. So over the course of my tenure as a voice chat mod, he and I have gone round and round about, you can talk about passive income all you want, but what about us guys who are interested in price and market cap? And my response has always been, well, price and market cap is important to guess who? People who consider price and market cap to be important. But the original inventor of this project, Vegrock, made it pretty clear that this was always about the passive income that you could generate by participating in the revenue rewards built into our exchange. And as I was saying earlier, he priced this token at such an incredibly, ridiculously cheap price that the average investor would not be interested. What in the hell does a token that cheap mean to me? I mean, that's just too risky. So he got the right people to join in. It worked. He got the likes of a RTR Crypto and a Nate and a Steve Cha and a Michael Conroy and all the key players that started out supporting this project. He got the right kind of people. He kind of sort of lucked out there. And they helped to create a community, and the community helped to create an infrastructure that allowed he and his lead devs to do what they needed to do and get feedback, which was critical during the process of programming. The feedback that was necessary to produce the kind of product he wanted to produce. And so far, I think it's been working out pretty well. But from his perspective, it has never been about price. It's always been about passive income. Now, he has discussed price periodically in his interactions with some of the admins who have been kind enough to turn around and post his interactions with them. And periodically he gets into text chats and will respond to questions. Not that often, just because he just doesn't have the time. He'll also jump into voice chat and then post responses to the questions raised in voice chat. But when it comes to his personal feelings about the project and why he created it and so forth, that tends to be restricted to conversations with the admins. Then the admins will get permission from him to post some of those posts. I've had a chance to read those posts, and I have come away with the firm belief that this project has never been about price as far as he's concerned. So what does that do to the investors such as Pennywise, who are indeed concerned about price? Well, it leaves them in the uncomfortable position of having to put up with all of us guys who keep talking about this is not about price. And it leads to some very interesting DM conversations between myself and Penny about that particular topic. I think perhaps maybe in the course of voice chat, it might be beneficial for the community if we lightened up a little bit about those interested solely in price and solely in market cap. Although I personally have an issue with this concept about market cap. If you're dealing with the traditional stock markets of the industrialized world, and those stock markets represent a part of an entire market out there, whether it's in apparel or building airplanes or constructing underwater tunnels or whatever it is, then using the term market capitalization, I think, is important. It helps to get an overall feel for the health of that company, because that company most likely is a corporation, and that corporation needs to be fed with the constant flow of what's called money, fiat, for their company to function. And that flow of money, capital, cash flow, is typically compared to market capitalization, because that's why you went to the stock market in the first place, to get capital to be able to fund that company. But that company has an income statement and a balance sheet and an asset list and an accounts payable and an accounts receivable and all the interesting little doodads that an investor uses to evaluate the health and welfare of that company. What does a cryptocurrency have? Does it have an income statement? Nope. Does it have a balance sheet? Nope. Does it have an asset list? Nope. Does it have all the characteristics of a typical corporation? Nope. Why? Because it's not a stock market. It is a cryptocurrency world. And we're kind of inventing the world of investing, all right, from the get-go by taking a look at cryptocurrency as potential investments, and particularly in a situation where you're dealing with passive income, because now passive income can be compared to some degree to a particular stock that offers dividends. What is the dividend? It is a passive income. You buy the stock that provides dividends. You hope like hell the company makes a profit to pay out those dividends. And if you're sufficiently well-heeled and can purchase the right dividends in large enough quantities, you can have a very nice, luxurious life by participating in that passive income, by purchasing those dividend stocks. That project is no different. Now, when people look at those stocks that have dividends, do they spend a lot of time talking about how much money those dividends are worth? Not typically. Those are their dividend stocks. Then they have other stocks that are simply price plays that they use to generate additional wealth, which they intend to turn around and buy more dividend stocks. I mean, come on. It's not rocket science. So while Penny is concerned about addressing the price of the token, and I'm not totally insensitive to that, I still will eventually come back to the comment that Fegrox has made from time to time, that this has never really been a project about price. So does that resolve my ongoing discussion with Pennywise? Nope. Well, our discussion.
Paul, is it okay if I add on to that?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah, so I certainly appreciate, what Penny's trying to ask here. And I'm actually glad that he came to the voice chat, much like Arno earlier, was kind of expressing some concern, not necessarily about the project, but just, I guess just wondering if what he is thinking is on the right path, and just kind of looking for some additional validation there. That's what's beautiful about this project in particular, is that you've got a group of people on this voice chat who are all like-minded and agree that this is a good project to invest in. And whenever there's doubt or uncertainty or fear in the market, we can kind of comfort each other by having intellectual conversations. And so one thing, kind of like as a shadow mod, that's in the text chat a lot, kind of monitoring what people are saying and doing in there, is that you got to realize that as a shadow mod, if you sit in there for an hour and you're looking at every single message that comes through, you'll find that most of the messages that are coming through are scammy or funny. Like there's a lot of messages that come through that just seem like they are trying to cause additional fear and certainly doubt into the project. And since it's just text, you have no idea what kind of sentiment or connotation or objective that other person has when they're just typing, okay, when moon, or why price down. You have no idea what their concern or objective is. But whenever you come into the voice chat and say, hey, you know what, like I am concerned about price. I understand that one of the main objectives is about passive income, but what about price? That brings up a point to where we can intelligently, discuss the conversation, but also in a way that we know you're not just trying to create FUD in the community. But then, kind of my rebuttal to that is, the question itself is somewhat speculative and unknown. Like you're asking volunteers of, people who are in a crypto project to give their opinions on what's going to happen
to something that no one knows what's going to happen. So it's very difficult to answer that via text in a chat room with 114,000 people in it, especially a question that is so speculative. Asking opinions as to what's going to happen to the price. My opinion is that once the exchange is released and we're getting a ton of new volume, obviously that is incentive for people to stake their FEG tokens. So people are going to want to stake their FEG token, which again, the price demand versus supply. We know that demand should increase because the benefits of owning FEG and staking it is very valuable. And then we know that the supply is decreasing. So based on those two concepts, we're pretty sure that the price is going to go up. I think all of us kind of feel that, but no one knows when. You have no idea what's going to happen. And when you try and put it into just a text chat like that, it can very easily be misunderstood as FUD because most people see that in there. But coming to a voice chat like this, I'm really glad that you did that, Penny. But it's just kind of my feedback as a shadow mod in the text group as to why you may have been treated with that type of behavior.
Well, I for one appreciate that. Appreciate the feedback and appreciate the opinion. I think it's very beneficial to people listening to understand that nothing happens in a vacuum, does it? There's always some sort of context about whatever it is you're talking about, whatever it is you're doing, yada, yada, yada. Which is not meant to be a sideways comment about yakety yak. That was just pure coincidence on my part. But the essence of the conversation is we are expressing our opinions, and those opinions vary. And when you're dealing with text chat, it becomes far more challenging to establish that context than when you're in voice chat. Would you agree?
Can I add something to the Pennywise question?
Well, before you speak, let me allow Yakety Yak to answer my question. Would you agree, Yakety Yak?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Yeah. So, individual that was speaking a moment ago, please continue.
So I had a similar question to Pennywise when I entered the project, and I've seen a lot of posts about the passive income and what kind of levels could be expected based on volume, and I started to kind of do the math of the passive income, and you can pretty quickly see if those numbers pan out, that there'll be a natural arbitrage that affects the price. For example, the one that I've seen, a trillion BNB FEG would, passive income $45,000 a year. If you do the math on that and figure even a pretty aggressive 10% return on that, which is anyone that can expect a 10% return is that's a pretty amazing return in the financial world. That pushes that price up a lot, a lot. So how that volume participates in the passive income will also affect the price, I think, significantly. Any thoughts on that?
No, I agree with you, but I don't really think that's Pennywise's main reason for coming on. I think he was addressing the issue that people that are concerned about price and market cap should be treated with a little more respect, essentially.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Don't just automatically poo-poo price and market cap. And that's a valid point.
yeah, I don't think either, someone should be stuck on one aspect of it when the two really will ultimately be interrelated. As the passive income number increases, the price will have to travel with it. Otherwise, you're looking at the passive income as like, 100% return or 1,000% return. If the price is still low, those returns would be crazy, and so the price is going to push up to kind of mediate that risk versus reward number.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to add something here also. I also don't care about price, and actually, personally, it's really, really good that the price is down, in my opinion, because you have a lot of people's concern out there. They see those whales with 100 trillions or even more, and they weren't lucky enough to get in that early. And since the price is down and we already have delivered, or the devs delivered already pretty much, and you had already like months now to do your research and really understand the project. And this price now is an amazing opportunity for all people that still want to have their goal. I just say their goal is at least, or their goal is a trillion to have. So I think, in my personal opinion, this is really also in the future beneficial for us to really, let's say, survive, or to pretty much like that, to be healthy. Because when you have an equal distribution of factors on a huge amount of people, this is pretty healthy. And you don't want just like the top holders with hundreds of trillions, and then the rest is just in billions, because then they say, no, I don't want to use the exchange. I mean, why? What the heck? It's just for the rich ones. So that's just my personal opinion. It's maybe a little bit provocative also, but I think it's for all our good, and it's really healthy, because many people already understand now what FAG is building, and this is a chance to actually get their bag more increased, and to really have an more equal distribution among all of us.
Would anybody who's currently listening to the conversations like to offer their opinion? If you do, please raise your hand. Jamo has his hand raised. Harley. D.NM. I'll let the three of you negotiate as to who's going to talk first.
I mean, I can go. Just real quick. Yeah, but I understand Pennywise's, and I know he was talking about the chat and stuff, and this kind of follows up with what Mike said. But with and I understand like the exchange is good for, not like the market cap value and everything, but because I mean, once there's more pairs on the exchange then the staking is going to be insane. Which, again, I think if once those exchanges or those other tokens get on the exchange, and what's being offered by staking, it's going to be. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who did sell are going to be coming back, and also staking as well, and that's going to bring the price back up. And then if not, and then just those people that already left are going to come back. There's going to be more people that who haven't even got in yet. So the staking will be good, I believe, and then that will bring the price up as well. That's just my little 2 cents on.
I mean,
I think that each of the systems that FEG have put in place, or FEG have put in place, are brilliant. And my admiration for the mods and the work that they've done is like unrelenting. But in agreement with what Arno was saying, there's like this almost beauteous element in that with the price being as low as it is currently, I think it's a really fundamental thing that it isn't elitist. And I know that that term in itself may cause some problems, but it's accessible to anybody. And that in itself should be a beautiful thing, to have passive income available, and regardless of the scale of it, right? Because every single one of us, the cryptocurrency market is currently in this state of like, there's this mass shakeout and there's huge fear across the market. But those of us that, I've only been actually invested in crypto for maybe 6-7 months, and yet I've watched it for years and years and years. And as soon as I discovered FEG, there was something about it that just felt different. And I gather that all of us are a little bit, regardless of whether we kind of admit it or not, but there are a lot of people that are a little bit kind of scared by it if they're new to the process, because we aren't used to this kind of cycle of like, Jesus Christ, I've lost a load of money. But we're in a position now where it's open to almost anybody. And with that, that is a beautiful thing. To have that access point is massive. Yes, I'm waiting for staking V2 to come up. And yes, that's an exciting concept. But at no point does it scare me as to what the price does, because I have a true faith in the thing that we're doing. And although my involvement in it isn't direct, of course, I watch it changing and I see the community, and you sit in the group chat and it's like, get all the classic meme comments, and it doesn't really mean or equate to anything. And then you get into, this is my first time joining the group chat, by the way, so hello. But you get into this, and in the last 20 minutes I've sat here and listened, and it's kind of reaffirmed so many of the things that I knew already. And there's no fear element to it, and that's a positive thing. I've got I would feel comfortable. This is, to me, I think this is like fundamentally enormous. I would feel comfortable speaking to a friend of mine who is, whoever it may be, that has no experience in cryptocurrency. And you couldn't recommend cryptocurrency to somebody. You can say, yes, it's still fairly early days, and yes, it's a developing market, and yes, there's lots of things to come. But you can't actually recommend somebody to do it, because if everything goes, forgive the language, but tits up, then that would be on you, And yet with FEG, it doesn't scare me, because you can become involved with a very small investment if you so wish, and then you can get the excitement and the engagement and the actual potential for building that comes with it. It's enormous. And I really haven't actually added that much to the conversation in relation to the topic we're discussing, but I think that positivity and the potential it carries with it alone, regardless of market cap, regardless of potential for building, of course I think the price is going to rise. Like, of course I do. But I don't actually think that it's significant because of the weight that it carries behind it. And the fact that it doesn't kick people out is in itself a gift. And at that point, I'm probably going to shut up for a second. Please don't rip me too much.
Well, number one, congratulations for your foray into voice chat. It can be a little intimidating for some, others not so much. It's typical of human beings in general. So congratulations on being part of the voice chat. I would encourage you, if you find it valuable, to come back often.
I will. I will.
At this point in time, I'd like to give Dominique an opportunity to interject. She had her hand raised a moment ago.
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. Hope you're all well. I just had a quick question about the rewards. I've noticed that the rewards can go down in your FEG, off your FEG rewards, and I just didn't know in the tokenomics that was how that worked. Because I thought you accumulated the rewards on all the buys and sells. and I've just noticed there's been quite a dip. Some of them, the rewards sort of tend to you lose money and lose rewards, and how that happens.
Well, let me ask you a question, which is one of my time-honored techniques for interacting with people on voice chat, is to answer a question with a question. So there's that annoying issue about me. But the question I want to ask is, the word rewards is being used universally within the project to describe earnings you can gain from investing in the exchange, as opposed to the frictionless rewards that you will get when you simply purchase FEG. So I'm assuming, and you can correct me otherwise, that the rewards you're referring to are the rewards that are the frictionless rewards simply by holding FEG. Is that true?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at how those rewards are generated. We know from the way the contract is written that the rewards are generated by either buys, sells, transfers, or almost virtually anything except leaving your tokens in your wallet. We are at a market right now where the entire crypto market has, from a practical standpoint, entered into a bear market. Now, whether it's a true bear market or it's just temporary remains to be seen. But the essence of the conversation is people are pulling back. People are taking a look at the overall market and saying, oh, my price of my token is going down. Maybe I should sell while the price is still relatively high, in hopes of converting that high price into a possibility of earning more of that same token by buying it later on at a lower price, or by simply preserving the overall amount of that token by selling the token and putting it into a stable coin. However people take a look at the current market, the essence of the discussion is once Bitcoin, which is a leading indicator of the market, starts to go down, then people tend to want to sell.
I thought you earned rewards though based on if people sold as well.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Are you talking about the dollar value in your contract?
Yeah. Sometimes it goes down.
Yeah, so obviously the value of your rewards is based on the price of your token. And if the price of the token is decreasing, then that dollar amount is going to change. But if you press that reward number again, you'll see that your number of FEG token is not decreasing, that it's increasing.
Oh, I see. So it's all okay. I get it now. Yeah. So it's not the rewards that are actually decreasing. It's just the dollar value. Okay. Yeah. Because it's quite hard to when there's quite a lot of numbers to even realize, that what that figure's doing. But the dollar value does, jump up and down. So that makes it clearer. Thank you for that explanation.
And I want to express my sincere appreciation for Yakety coming in and giving me a chance to breathe. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you as well. Thanks, everyone.
You're welcome. You're welcome. That's just yet another example of my poor attempt at humor. So who next would like to voice their next question, comment, or concern in our illustrious voice chat for this afternoon? I believe it is. Yes, it is this afternoon. We've had some very stimulating conversation today. I enjoy it. I've enjoyed it thus far. I don't always enjoy spending my time talking about quantum physics. However, I'm not opposed to discussing quantum physics. Because I'm just like that. So who next? I'm scanning up and down the list, seeing who might have a question that eventually leads to a raised hand. Oh, Jonathan, here we go. Okay, Jonathan, you are on, sir. What would you like to
All right.
posed
So
today.
my question has nothing to do with FEG at all. Or maybe it does in the long run. Who knows? My question for you, Paul, is what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Okay. I actually have an opinion about that. Okay. And it has to do with the traditional concept of evolution. Okay. So let's say you have a precursor to a modern day chicken. Okay. That precursor eventually evolves into a chicken. Well, that precursor, in order to eventually evolve into a full-blown chicken, would have to evolve the ability to create an egg. Because if it evolved into a chicken that could not lay an egg, and then in turn evolved into a chicken laying an egg, it would not be a recognizable chicken. Now, would it?
Is this a new kind of spam? Is this a new kind of spam attack to where you ask Paul random questions just so he doesn't talk about things?
Yes, but I just stepped back, and this is an awesome conversation, and now I'm going to get so behind at work. This is awesome. I'm staying. My son is 6 years old, and he asked me what came first, and I keep saying, well, from a scientific perspective, there has to be a first. And he goes, well, what created that first? I go, well, then whoever created that first must itself have been created. And he goes, well, then who created the creator? I go, whoever created the creator created that person who created the creator. So it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, it's a perfectly circular argument.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah. But
have you seen the Far Side? I don't know if it was Far Side. It said which came first, or the chicken or the egg, and it had an egg laying in bed next to a chicken. And then the chicken looks at the egg and says, well, we know who solved that problem.
I have not seen that one, but that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to thank you again. I sent you a DM. I'm going to go home after work, and I'm going to listen to that recording. I apologize if you were talking to silence.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. I don't mind at all.
But thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, sir.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. Ooh, now that's interesting. He says, next time, string theory. No, I'll just stick to quantum physics. String theory is just... The mathematics involved in string theory. And I was fine till I got up to partial differential equations, and then that was my Waterloo when it came to mathematics. String theory is just... That's beyond genius level stuff. But thank you, Pennywise. That's fun. Well, who wants to take over voice chat for about 5 minutes as I replace the batteries in my hearing aids?
I can do it for 5 minutes.
Go for it, sir. Appreciate it.
Do you want to have any questions about FEG or FEG topics or anything like that? I can't unmute anybody, but I can talk about FEG.
I'm all out of FEG questions.
Did anybody get that NFP from FOMO today?
I'm still waiting on it myself.
Yeah, I got one.
A big plan is to, once that game comes out, is to get my kids hooked on it so that way they can start earning FEG.
It's reverse nepotism.
To the individual that got that NFT, was that a FEG NFT?
Yeah, it's a FEG gaming NFT. It's pretty hot, actually. It's like a video.
How did you get it? Because they keep saying to refresh the website that I needed to get it. And when I keep refreshing the website, there's still no link to get the NFT.
Hey, Paul,
it has space.
let me send you a DM and try this link.
Cool.
Yeah, I just
So
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to go on. Sorry, I was going to go on a second, but I just took the pinned tweet site link and I pasted it into the SafePal browser, and then I just linked up from there, and pretty straightforward. Click through pretty easily for me. I guess maybe the last pinned message is a new site, so it may be different from the one you're using.
Yeah, check it in, Paul.
Will do. As soon as I get my hearing aids back in.
Yeah, I hope I sent Picasso a DM, or not a DM, just a message while that release was happening. I may send it to him again, but I wanted to recommend that the virtual queue system that they have over at like NBA Top Shot. That's something that I've experienced that has really good, that has worked really well. You can, they'll say like, hey, there's a virtual queue that's opening up at 12 o'clock or whatever, and you can sit inside that virtual queue for say like 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever time it is, and then the queue will open. Then the actual line will be open to purchase whatever it is NFT, like after that 15-minute period, and you get a random number in that line. So if there's only like 50,000 NFTs that are being released, and there's 300,000 people that want to buy, there's 300,000 people that'll wait inside that virtual queue, and then once the buying window actually opens, you get put into that line, and you'll see like, okay, your number, 60,000 out of 300,000 or something like that, and so right away if you need to stick around and wait and see if everybody in front of you actually buys one and it runs out. Or you can just decide to leave, and say, oh, I'm not going to get it. And then whenever it is your turn, you get an automatic email saying, hey, it's like your turn to buy this NFT. So it's a really good system that I saw that really works well. I hope those guys try and implement something like that.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I didn't have to wait or anything in my case. It worked okay for me, I guess.
Well, in the first, as soon as the website came out, it crashed. And so if everybody was trying to refresh it, and they kept getting this like 504 error message. So not everybody was able to get onto the website. And so they ended up having this like backup websites that they had to activate, and then everything worked fine. But if just virtual queue systems like that for things that have a really high demand that get released online, like I don't know if you guys ever tried to buy a PS5 whenever it was first coming out, but like a virtual, trying to buy it on Best Buy or Walmart or something like that as soon as it came out was pretty much impossible because there's so much traffic hitting the website at the same time. It was all glitchy and stuff. That's what happened with the first website this morning until they brought up that second website.
Well, I'm actually past that stage. I'm at the stage where you choose the little video that's about 60 seconds long, and I was told that those NFTs will post on that same website. But since other people have already purchased them, I would hazard a guess that that was incorrect. So now I'm at a loss.
Paul, you got the NFP, right? On your avenue?
Yep.
Okay, that's all you get today.
Oh, you can't actually purchase the FEG NFTs yet?
Yeah, that gets you in. Buying that today They said they didn't give a time frame, maybe in a couple of weeks or something, and then that gets you access into the purchase, kind of like a front runner.
Oh, okay. I get it now. See, I am capable of being educated, provided I'm talked to at a sufficiently low level. That's good to know. I like that.
Just check the pin messages, Paul. That's all I gotta do.
Yeah, about those pin messages. I seem to be spending too much time talking and not enough time checking.
Sorry for the background noise. I'll mute myself in just a second.
No problem.
What about the Horde application or the partnership? Do you guys ever look at that? Horde? I guess not. I think we're supposed to have an AMA with them like in 2 days or so. Talking about that partnership there. But that one I thought was pretty cool. Horde is a website where you can register yourself as a champion. FEG has registered themselves as a champion. And then a champion can create a investment portfolio, aka ETF. It's kind of the similar terminology of various tokens, and you can have followers that will basically invest into this pool that will copy your transactions as a champion. So if you think that you're a good and savvy crypto, financial, or wealth advisor or something like that, and you want people to benefit from your investment strategy in crypto while earning money from other people that follow your strategies, then Horde is a pretty cool application to where you can do that. Every time that somebody sells from that pool, the champion will get a percentage of that fee. And so it's better than, I've heard of some people who don't know anything about crypto but claim to know that one guy who does know something, and they give him their money and their seed phrase and just let this other guy kind of control their funds. This is a good way to kind of let somebody else make your investment decisions for you in the crypto world, as long as they're good at making investment decisions.
I think I'd be fine up to the point where I had to hand over my seed phrase. Then that might present a bit of a problem for me.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to do that with Horde. What I'm saying is that I've heard of people doing that, So instead of having to do that, you can just kind of invest in, say a guy or a champion, big champion, for example, and if they make good financial investment decisions on whatever their crypto portfolio looks like, then you can benefit from their timely transactions as well, because the smart contracts are set up to where, if the champion executes a trade, everybody in that is part of that champion's pool will execute that same trade at the exact same time.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Well, then all you would need to present is your public wallet.
Yeah.
Well, that would be fine. That's kind of cool. I'm trying to think of. You ever heard of a trading platform called El Toro?
No, I haven't.
They have kind of a sort of a thing where it's called copy trading, and El Toro, I think, is primarily stocks, but you can pick out some of the more successful investors, and you can set up a relationship somehow where whenever they trade, you trade, and whatever they buy, you buy. And then that provides a similar opportunity where if you're not so good at picking stuff and somebody else is extremely good, then you just are essentially riding on their coattails. So it sounds something quite similar.
Yeah, Prime XBT has a very good platform for copying traders on BTC and ETH.
So would that be similar to what we find with the Horde opportunity?
Yeah, it kind of sounds similar. Because, my understanding is, like a champion, is basically just like a financial advisor. You could think of it as like a mutual fund or something. And if you think that, that mutual fund is a good investment, you put your money into it and you just let that fund kind of manage your money after that. So it's a similar concept, except now it's in the crypto world.
All right. So you're not investing in individual cryptos. You're just investing in this champion's home-built fund, and then through the course of that individual making the right decisions, the overall fund increases in income or not income value, and then you do too. Pretty cool. Well, I learned something more today than I did yesterday, which I typically do whenever I'm part of voice chat. So since the majority of us voice chat mods are probably still over in the FOMO voice chat cutting it up, I want to offer this opportunity to ask the general community, how are myself and T-Pert doing today? Are we holding down the fort in the best traditions of voice chat mods, or we have room for improvement?
Awesome as well.
Winter mood, that doesn't count because everybody knows I pay you to say that, but I appreciate that anyway.
Not nearly enough.
Yeah, there's that too. We have 58 participants today. We had upwards of 100 this morning. And RTR's impromptu AMA with Picasso evidently was not widely advertised, so that didn't account for the 100 or so people this morning. So does anybody have any theory why we had almost 100 people in voice chat around 8 o'clock this morning? Mountain Standard Time, that is.
a chat call.
Again. What am I going to do?
Well, if nobody's got any questions about Fig, I mean, I'll just talk.
I enjoy listening to T-Bird talk because he always has a lot of background noise to provide a certain level of ambiance that I enjoy.
That's right, because I'm always working. Like right now, I'm skinning tomatoes to make canned salsa.
Ooh, that sounds good.
You know, hopefully I'll get about 6 jars today.
Pretty cool. Yeah, everybody seems to be satisfied with just kicking back and listening to them. Well, not everybody. We've had some vigorous conversations earlier this morning.
Well, I always like listening to you, Paul. No, that's not me being sarcastic either.
I think after 4 months of being a voice chat mod, or more like 5 months, slowly starting to dawn on me that the main reason people tell me, I really like listening to you, Paul, is they would prefer not to have to talk. And if they can just keep boosting my ego, that tends to promote more conversation out of me, so they can just kick back and peel tomatoes and do whatever it is they need to do.
You're such a smart man.
Yeah, after almost 6 months, you think I would have caught on it earlier, but hey, what are you going to do? You are what you are.
Seems like the first notices of the FOMO Labs offering were earlier, so maybe that was why so many people ended up in the voice chat.
Could be, yeah.
Paul, was that AMA recorded by chance? Put it anywhere so we can go listen to it?
I believe it was, actually. First place I would go to, because I'm not on the website right now, is go to the main text chat and look in the pinned messages and see. So I just unmuted another question.
No, I was going to say that it was in the pin messages, but by the time you unmuted me, you had already let them know. So I appreciate it, though.
Thank you, gentlemen.
That has my curiosity up now. There we go. So AMA, FOMO NFT purchase in less than 2 hours. Give a listen. That was at 8:15 in the morning. Another pin message at 8:02 in the morning. Another pin message at 6:30 in the morning. Okay, that's what it all came from. That would do it. Big Smoke has been having way too much fun in the text chat. His voice is kind of shot, so he's been cutting it up over there. We're really burning it up, aren't we? No, take it. Oh, look at that, a question. Oh, my goodness. Joe Biden, you're on. Joe Billion, I unmuted you. You may speak now. Other than the AMA, some lively discussion with Arno, and then Pennywise, it's been a kind of a chill day today. Evidently, Joe Billion did not have a question to ask. They just decided they wanted to raise their hand. That's only slightly on the annoying side when they do that. But life in the big city. Well, I've done a fair amount of talking this morning, so I'm not going to continue practicing my ability to pass the long air over my vocal cords. I'm going to continue looking at the text chat until such time as someone says, oh, there's a hand up, or someone has a question, or at that. I wander off the text chat, and all of a sudden I get besieged by questions. Okay, here we go. Dee, Sasuke, Mateo, I will let the three of you negotiate on your own who wants to speak first.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
What's your name?
My name is
What's
Paul.
your name?
My name is Paul. What is your name?
My name is Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. What can we do for you today?
What?
How can I help you today?
No, I don't speak English.
What language do you speak?
Me Russian boys.
Russian. Okay. We have a Russian text chat available that would allow you to interact with FEG holders speaking your native language.
I don't speak English, sorry.
Okay. Let's see. I cannot DM her first. Who do I think would be a likely candidate for this?
One minute.
Okay. David, I want you to mute your mic for a moment, please, till we get this language issue resolved. I would like someone in the community who is not a voice chat mod to DM her with the Russian voice chat language link.
I can do it.
Would you please, Mateo?
Yeah, so you send me the link and I'll send Jennifer the link.
Okay. Want me to send it to you first? One moment, please. I got it.
You have a business in the status. Hey.
Что?
How are you in the status?
Thank you.
How are you in the status? Hey.
One moment, Jennifer. One moment.
Okay. Okay.
Ты говоришь по-русски?
Yeah.
Okay, Mateo, if you would send that over to her, I'd appreciate it.
One minute. Can I be in your chat?
Okay, I sent it.
Jennifer?
Can?
Do you do you see the link?
1 minute.
She's using a translator right now, in my opinion.
What?
Я послал его.
Click on that link.
Repeat, please.
Click on Mateo's link.
Я послал его.
Click, yeah.
She would have to navigate to your profile, Mateo,
Repeat.
and be able to see it.
Hey, Paul, repeat, please.
Jennifer, это российский канал. Российский канал.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Paul.
Yes.
And repeat, please repeat.
Click or tap.
Click. Stop. Click, yeah, click.
On Mateo's link.
Click on Mateo's link.
On Mateo's link, yeah.
Meeting нас снилку.
1 minute.
The challenge they have is understanding that they have to tap on the individual that sent them the link and open the profile to be able to see it.
Paul.
Yes.
Jennifer нас meeting нас на ссылку.
Paul, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. One minute.
Ты говорите по-английски?
Да, yeah.
Mateo, do you speak Russian?
A bit.
What? The translator is not translating. It's translating. The translator is not. What?
Can anyone tell her to tap Mateo's profile picture to tap on open and to view that link?
Paul.
Yes, Jennifer?
1 minute. Do you live in America?
I like America, but this conversation cannot continue. One moment, please. 1 moment. We have the solution right here.
Okay.
Go ahead, Fanatic.
Hey, so wait, could you explain me what happened?
Okay, Mateo sent her a Russian language link. She does not know that she needs to tap on Mateo's profile picture, go to the profile and find the link so she can go to the Russian language link. She's trying to do everything using a translator. It's taking too much time.
Окей, я поняла. Секунду, подождите, я пытаюсь разобраться в ситуации. Я пытаюсь разобраться в ситуации, подождите, пожалуйста. Okay, so the Mateo sent her the link in the main chat, right?
What? Что?
Подождите, пожалуйста, я разговариваю с Полом, я сейчас к вам вернусь, секунду. Paul, so Mateo sent the link in the main chat, right?
Yes.
No. Directly to her.
You sent it directly to her?
DM directly to her.
Yes.
Okay. So you already did, right?
Yes, they already did.
Yes.
Окей, Саске, значит, вам прислали личное сообщение от Матео, который отправил вам ссылку в группу, русскоязычную группу. То есть, если у вас есть какие-то вопросы на русском языке, то, пожалуйста, задавайте в ту группу, потому что здесь это основной англоязычный чат, и поэтому вам только что Матео выслал в личном сообщении ссылку на русскоязычный чат.
Так, подождите, если я пишу сообщение, она автоматически переводится в якобы в другой язык, да?
Нет. Есть русскоязычная группа для ФЭГ. То есть вам выслали ссылку на русскоязычную группу. То есть вы можете туда присоединиться и спросить, задать вопросы на русском языке.
Хорошо.
Угу.
Спасибо, говорю, спасибо.
Ага, пожалуйста.
Тут все почти знают английский, да?
Это основной англоязычный чат, потому что все иностранные со всего мира люди, поэтому все обязательно разговаривать должны на английском. Поэтому, но созданы разные группы, но если есть разные группы, и вам выслали вот русскоязычную, то есть вы туда можете задавать вопросы на русском языке.
И мне присылают сообщение, и я должен его прочитать, да?
Да, должно сообщение быть от Матео, и он должен был вам прислать ссылку на русскоязычный телеграм-чат.
Тут написано, администратор группы запретили вам писать в ней. Как это пройти? Тут есть какая-то кнопка, я не бот, это надо пройти?
Нет, подождите секунду.
Вот можно вопрос лично?
Извините, чаты, я не имею права отвечать на русском долгое время, потому что это для людей, которые задают на английском языке, извините. Вам выслали в личное сообщение от Матео ссылку на русскоязычный сайт, пожалуйста, туда. Если хотите, можете отправить мне личное сообщение. Я фанек Shadow Mode Plus с котом, изображение кота. То есть если кликните на меня, и первая ссылка должна быть Open Chat или открыть сообщение. То есть отправьте мне личное сообщение, я вам перешлю ссылку.
Окей. Сейчас я зашел к вам в ЛС. Дальше.
От Матео должна быть. То есть вы или же мне отправьте сообщение, или посмотрите на сообщение от Матео.
Так, у Матео есть сообщение. Я зашел в группу.
Так.
И здесь, да, зашел в группу, и тут привет, Саски, подтвердите, что вы не бот в течение 3 минут, и тогда вы сможете писать в группе.
Значит, что там требует для подтверждения?
Перейти по ссылке и авторизироваться на сайте каком-то.
Секунду, я проверю. Сейчас, секунду, я проверю, что там за ссылка. Сейчас, секунду.
Окей.
Пока я проверяю, я вам то есть пока пусть остальные задают вопросы, я потом как проверю, я опять вам сообщу, хорошо?
Окей,
не хочу занимать время.
А тут почти все в этом чате англичане.
Да.
Офигеть. Как удачно я попал в чат.
Просто это международный сайт, международный чат со 100 тысяч человек. Конечно, все должны говорить на одном языке. Ладно, и я не хочу занимать время часа, поэтому я как только проверю ссылку, я вам сообщу. А пока дадим время.
Хорошо, спасибо.
Paul, sorry for taking so long. I'm gonna check because the link that Mateo sent is asking to verify something in that chat, so I want to make sure that it's a correct link. So meanwhile, while I'm checking, you guys can go ahead with other questions.
Thank you, Fanik. Appreciate the help. Very much appreciate. And for those of you who may think that took too much time, please be advised, when we're speaking in English, time goes by much faster. Had we been speaking in English, there would have been no complaint about how much time it took. So having said that...
One second, I checked the link, so I can reply to him. Значит, я проверила по ссылке, то есть если кликнуть, то есть, да, там есть действительно верификация, то есть нужно просто накликнуть на ссылку и сказать «Окей», и оно больше ничего не спросит, и вас автоматически авторизирует.
Окей, хорошо, но у меня пропала эта кнопка.
Попробуйте, значит, тогда попробуйте выйти из этого чата, то есть если вверху на три кнопочки нажать...
Все, зашел, обратно, все. Так, все, название не код. Верификация от рекепчи, да?
Да, и просто кликните на то, что согласитесь на верификацию, оно сразу автоматически вас верифицирует.
Спасибо большое за помощь.
Если еще будут вопросы, можете лично мне отправить сообщение, я тогда попытаюсь вам помочь. Или хотя бы направить, куда идти, куда читать, что читать. Я тогда... У вас больше нет вопросов, правильно?
Можно один вопрос? Тут участники в этой группе как и русские, так и англичане?
В какой именно? В русскоязычной группе это русскоязычные.
Ну все, понял.
Ага.
Получается, могу спрашивать у них, как перевести.
Да, можете на русском, да.
Все, спасибо большое.
Хорошо, хорошего вам дня.
Спасибо.
All right. All settled. Apparently, the Russian group has a bot verification thing that requires to click on a link and then confirm, and so it was a little bit suspicious for a moment, but then it worked. So you guys can go ahead, ask questions.
Thank you for coming to our rescue, Fanik. I'm just curious, did you find out from someone that we were in dire need, or did you happen to just come in at the right time?
I think someone messaged me. I forgot who was. I think either Matteo or someone else said that we need a dire Russian translator.
Well, whoever that was, I appreciate that very much for thinking further ahead than I'm capable of thinking. So thank you.
No problem.
I'm beginning to find out, Finnick, that about the only true benefit I bring to this entire community is this radio voice chat of mine. Everything else I seem to consistently fall through the cracks. But
no, that's not true, and it's not fair to expect that you have to do everything. Like, I don't know a lot of things as well. So don't invalidate your work or think that you're not providing a tremendous service for this community.
I appreciate that. Sometimes
no one's expecting you to know Russian, Paul. It's okay.
No, that's true. Although I think I should have recognized that I could have direct messaged Fanik and asked her to come in, but that did not occur to me. However, I do have a number of things on my mind, as we all do, and sometimes that happens. So, thank you. So, are you going to direct Saska to disconnect from voice chat and have her take a look at the Russian chat?
Yeah, I can do that, or at least ask her to mute him. I'm not sure. Саския, вы не могли бы нажать, потому что у вас еще включен микрофон, поэтому у нас проходят звуки от вас. Вы не могли бы выключить микрофон? Ага, спасибо. So, if anyone else have any questions?
Dee has a question. She raised her
hand.
Sure. She wants to chime in.
Actually, Matteo was first, so I was giving him the right away because he raised his hand first.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have a question. I just like to give one-off statements here and there.
You just like to raise your hand?
Exactly.
he likes to have the opportunity to jump in when it's appropriate. I, for one, because I will scan up and down the whole list, looking for individuals that I know from the past have offered some very insightful and, in some cases, argumentative points of view, and I will deliberately unmute them ahead of time. Because I want them to be able to chime in, and Mateo is one that I always unmute ahead of time.
Well, I was very impressed, Fennec. You were amazing. Zipped right in and spoke, and it was just amazing to watch all, the few of you to just come in and help out. I thought it was such a family.
Yeah, thank you. It was just like a small thing that I could do, right? It's not, but thank you. I appreciate the I appreciate the appreciation. I like the statement.
I wanna tell Fanix. I think it was funny. My wife walked by and she could hear you talking to Saska. And because my wife communicates to the whole world on a pretty regular basis, she's somewhat familiar with a number of the native major languages of the world. And she walks up to me and she says, "Are you on mute?" So I put myself on mute. And then she goes, "That woman speaks Russian really, really fast."
Yes.
It's true. It's just Ukrainian and Russian languages, like Slavic languages, tend to be very fast spoken, and because of that, my English sometimes I cut some of the sounds because I am trying to speak so fast in English in the same way, right? Like I'm trying to speak in a way how I would speak in Russian or Ukrainian, and so like the languages are. Those languages are spoken in a fast manner, but also because a lot of times people interrupt there. Like that's another thing that I've been struggling with a lot. People in Ukraine and Russia tend to interrupt. So you would want to finish a sentence as fast as possible if you want to say everything you want to say. You kind of need to be fast, and so. It's just also like it's not only the linguistic, it's also the I guess the cultural aspect of it, right? But yeah, anyway.
And Vanix English is also very good.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you.
What I thought was funny was when my wife was referring to Vanix's ability to speak fast, she was referring to Vanix's ability to speak Russian fast, not English. And I thought that was pretty interesting.
Paul.
Yes.
I want to get to your hall. It's beautiful there.
One moment, please. The next person up in our queue of questions is D. So if you would please mute yourself, we will get to you momentarily. So D, fire away.
So I purchased and installed SafePal, and my question is, how can I connect my SafePal with my Trust Wallet? Do they connect with each other?
They don't do a direct connect.
Okay.
You have two choices. If you don't want to suffer the 2% tax by sending FEG over to your SafePal, then you would have to create a new wallet in SafePal and import your seed phrase from Trust Wallet. That would essentially duplicate what you have on Trust Wallet in SafePal.
Okay.
Now,
go ahead.
Now here's the thing, okay? I know you well enough to know that you're going to stick with FEG for a long time.
Yes.
Okay? And I know that you have been able to purchase before our exchange is becoming readily adopted. That means that you will have had the opportunity to purchase FEG in sufficient quantities to make you a fairly wealthy woman in a relatively short amount of time. Okay.
Okay.
So you have SafePal, and you are probably going to want to eventually buy the SafePal hardware device that goes with the SafePal warm wallet, so that you can essentially sleep at night knowing that your funds are safe. Okay.
But that's exactly what I did. I have it.
Okay.
I just installed it.
You have the cold wallet device as well?
Yes. It looks
Okay.
like the little. It looks like the little credit card thing, right?
Yep.
Yep.
So here's the thing. When you installed SafePal, SafePal gave you an opportunity. Do you want to create a 12-word seed phrase or a 24-word seed phrase? Which choice did you make?
24.
Okay. Here's my recommendation to you. Contrary to a number of my illustrious voice chat mod workmates who think I am crazy. Okay. So take that as part of consideration. All right.
Okay.
A 12-word seed phrase is pretty secure under current technology.
Okay.
A 24-word seed phrase is beyond belief safe based on current technology.
Okay.
Current technology simply means how long would it take to break or discover a 12-word seed phrase. Okay. I personally am looking for maximum security. I want to know that I did everything under the sun to create maximum security. I personally am willing to pay that 2% tax so that I don't have to give up that 24-word seed phrase. Because if you create a separate wallet in the SafePal and you import that 12-word seed phrase, then the security associated with that particular wallet address is only going to be 12 words. Now, this is where my argument comes in. My illustrious voice chat mods who are mathematically astute will say, but you're crazy, because it would take who knows how many years to crack a 12-word seed phrase. My response to that is true today. What about next week or next month? Or whoever fires up the next super computer and decides that they want to go after people's hard-earned cryptocurrency. I want to know that if I have created a 24-word seed phrase, that the ability to crack a 24-word seed phrase is not just twice as hard, okay? It's exponentially harder than to crack a 12-word seed phrase. I'm willing to pay that 2% tax to transfer all of my funds over from my Trust Wallet to my SafePal wallet.
Okay.
Now, having said that, the way you transfer your funds from Trust Wallet to SafePal is the same way you would send funds from yourself to one of your relatives. Okay. In SafePal,